Yo guys, what's up? My name is Nick and welcome to this video. If you haven't seen last episode yet, go check it out. Link in the description because you don't want any spoilers that I'm going to give. So check that one out before you watch this one, of course. And like and subscribe already, as we are looking at our beautiful car. Just look at this beauty. Hopefully we can get some points this weekend, as we are at the sprint weekend in Austria. So let's just see what we can do, as we are going to do some upgrades. We really need to do those, as we are almost the worst car at the grid at the moment. We have 1.9k, and I don't really know if I did any upgrades, to be honest, but we are looking to do maybe a minor MCU K upgrade, as we have done that. And you can see we need to give ourselves a new internal combustion engine, as it has blown up last weekend. We have a new sponsor because we got level 10 at the Acclaim, so I'm looking for a new sponsor eventually. I have been through a lot of sponsors to get the best for the team right now. Of course, not cutting a corner a whole race is just impossible for me, so let's just not choose that one, as we are going to go with zigzag. We just need to complete 30 laps around the race weekend, which is pretty easy, so let's go do that one. Into qualifying we go, as we are setting or as we are going for an outlap. It says it is going to rain in 10 minutes, but I don't know that for sure. So as I don't have it on the perfect option, it is a little bit of a guess which will what will happen to the rain, of course, as we are setting our first lap. Speeding it up a little bit, as our teammate is setting the first and fastest lap of this weekend, but that will be quickly be undone by Mick Schumacher, of course, and also the other drivers who are going to set some fast laps. We are here almost in sector 3 already. It's quite a short circuit. It's only just over a minute long, so let's just hope we get a little bit of a good qualifying. Yes, I don't know what happened there, but as we are getting into turn 9 and 10, this is always a tricky corner, as you want to carry as much speed as possible, not invalidating the lap here, and finishing off this lap in last place for now. 7 tenths behind the TV, so we really need to get our shit together. Coming to the last lap, as we want to go for our third lap of this qualifying. You can see Magnussen didn't want to go past me, and when we saw the lap, he's just fighting with us, which happened earlier on the season with Albon a lot, and he just spins me around. It's unbelievable. Like, he was behind, so it's his problem that he didn't leave enough space between us, and then he just tries to make it into the corner where there is no room. Seeing from his onboard, of course, you can see going down the inside. I don't want to give him space. Maybe it's my fault, but it's still not good from him. As Daniel Ricciardo is setting the fastest laps, and Northern P3, is McLaren back? My question for that is McLaren back? The top 3 in 1/10 of a second, as we can see that we are the slowest 2 cars on the grid for the sprint race. So let's get into that.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Sainz, Perez, Bottas and Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Guan Yu Zhou and Gasly, Vettel, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Esteban Ocon, Albon, Latifi, Liam Lawson and the engineer. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
Alright, so here we go then for the sprint race. It was a Mercedes 1-2 and a 95 Racing 21-22. So it's not good for us at the moment as we are getting into the first corner, going around the outside of our teammates and trying to go around the outside of Latifi, but we have a little bit of wheel spin which gives us the disadvantage. Going a little bit onto the grass, which gives Lawson the opportunity to come back, but we make a massive dive bomb coming into turn 3. It's a massive pile up here. As you can see, there was some debris and we have a collision warning with Albon. The condition of our vehicle is still good as we are once again dive bombing Albon for that 18th position as we have a sprint race of 12 laps of course. Coming to lap 2, you can see Vettel and Tsunoda battling hard as we overtake or try to overtake Vettel, but the Aston Martin is just a little bit faster in a straight line. So we need to do it in the corners, going around the outside, trying not to battle too much with them as we want to make up some places. You can see the first two cars which are driving are a McLaren and a Mercedes. So one of the McLarens actually overtook both the Mercedes as one had damage and had to pit this race already. Which you don't want because of course when you finish last in this Grand Prix then you have to start last for the actual Grand Prix. So Vettel having a little bit of a strange line. Yellow flags, what happened here? Let's see from a helicopter shot what happened. It's Sebastian Vettel who took a little bit of a strange line coming into this corner, and that oh no, Latifi's out of the Grand Prix because of that. As you can see, Vettel taking a little bit of a strange line, which caused Latifi to crash into his teammate. So that is not good for Williams at all, as we are now having a virtual Grand Prix, no, not a virtual Grand Prix, a virtual safety car. And we are only in the second lap of course. Our delta is over 1 second, so we can speed up a little bit just to get back to the rear ring of Tsunoda. And the safety car is ending now. So within a second of Tsunoda and almost 2 seconds clear of Stroll, we try to maintain that gap of course, as we want to start our race on Sunday as high as possible. But in lap 4 we already lost our 2 seconds to Stroll, even though we didn't lose a lot of time to Tsunoda. Stroll just was a little bit faster than us. And once again the Aston Martin is taking a strange line, and this eventually leads to Stroll being out of the Grand Prix. Let's see what happened here as we're having a safety car once again. You can see he's trying to go for the inside as there's no room there. He brakes and he loses his front tire. Once again it's a teammate collision which leads to a DNF, as I'm going to pit this lap for new soft tires. I thought this was the best to do as we have fresh softs against already worn mediums. As you can see, there are a lot of AI stuck behind the safety car, even though they may overtake the safety car of course. Don't know what happened there, but that gives us an opportunity to come back stronger as their tires will be colder. Hamilton is still behind us, so that is good of course, as he had to pit from lap 1 with some front wing damage. As we now catch up to the safety car, accidentally overtake Lawson, but that didn't happen. As you can see, Daniel Ricciardo leading the way after the safety car and going into turn 1. He is doing that safely and not getting himself any damage or getting a threat from a Mercedes. But we do get a threat from a Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton tries to overtake us, going a little bit wide, or not even a little bit, just completely wide at the exit of turn 1. But we managed to hold on to P19 for now. Coming to turn 3, you can see we are still quite close behind Lawson, but Hamilton is in our back, trying to overtake us around the outside here at turn 4. He knows that when you go side by side through this corner, you can lose the car and go into the gravel, but we are not in Mercedes, so we are not doing that, of course. Down the inside goes Hamilton once again. It is a magnificent battle between the two of us, as is a yellow flag once again. We go around the outside, and that means that we are now into P15. Let's see what happens. Pierre Gasly, if I'm correct, or Yuki Tsunoda, one of the AlphaTauris, just turned into the other.
Okay, watch your pace. We've been informed the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stock vehicles on the track. It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there, we're attempting to manage it.
No, not gonna happen. Not having a safety car, and it's actually not a third safety car this race, and having an issue as we are coming to the fourth corner as Sergio Perez is out, and also we are out of this Grand Prix. This is just unbelievable. We have just stuck this ICE into the back of our car and it has already given up. So yeah, that's twice a engine failure in a row. Not happy with that at all, as we were on our way to make some positions up after that safety car once again. And it's actually, as you can see here, we are not seeing the standings, of course. We are seeing our XP current tier, but you can see Liam Lawson in P4 after that safety car, and after the sprint race, Lewis Hamilton eventually managed to get P1 and Albon in P3. I don't know what happened there, but it's really good for our team as we now have 5 points in the bank. This is an additional 5 points to the points that we already had, of course, but this means that we finally have some points once again. I think this is a bug because I don't really know what happened, to be honest, but that is it for the sprint race.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve. It was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 meters above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Albon, Liam Lawson, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Russell, Norris, Gasly and Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Mick Schumacher, Carlos Sainz and Magnussen, Ocon, Tsunoda, the engineer, and Sergio Perez, Joe, Vettel, Stroll, and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Now I wonder, Anthony Davidson, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams? Trying to put a bit of pressure on or disrupt things for the leaders?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run. I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
So now coming to the actual Grand Prix, we had a engine failure in the sprint race, and I am so done that I forgot to replace the ICE for the race. And as you can see, we have a red icon in the right bottom corner as we overshoot it by a little bit. But that doesn't mean very much, as we are not even having a complete engine in our car. As you can see, the lights are out and away we go. The ICE is 99%, as it shouldn't be working anymore. Having an awful start once again, going down the inside of Latifi, almost crashing into the back of Vettel. But when we go onto the straight, you can just see how much straight line speed we are losing. It's around 10 kilometers per hour, so not good with that, as we have this.
Sorry, mate. Just so you know, that wasn't your fault. What happened was entirely out of your control there.
You said what now? This was out of our control, mate. We didn't even tap the brakes. We just ran straight into another car. But this was just for fun, of course. And normally I don't do flashbacks or anything like that, but I wanted to show this to you guys. As you can see, the smoke coming out of our back, out of the back of the car, of course. And now Stroll is also overtaking us, which demotes us to P22, and he is also giving us some damage. And as you can see, the smoke is coming out of the car like it is a steam engine, but that isn't it, of course, as we are coming into the pits at the end of lap 1 to retire the car, because it just isn't possible to drive this car and be a little bit competitive. So that is really sad, of course, having a DNF in the last 2 races, and of course the sprint race as well. So yeah, not happy with that at all.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here in Spielberg, and rightly so. A brilliant effort from the whole team. And talk to me, what do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I think we'll chalk this one up to a deft touch on the brake pedal. That's allowed them to challenge down the inside into the braking zones, and ultimately, if you do that often enough, you end up winning the race. It was great to watch as well though, wasn't it? Forget strategy, forget tyre management. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned scrap?
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So it's a double podium for Mercedes, and Lando Norris taking P2 at the Grand Prix. Let's just hope Liam did it a little bit better than us, as we don't want to see that he is maybe in P20 or P19 or something like that. I don't think he scored points, just because, of course, our car isn't ready for that every weekend. But he managed to do it, of course, in the sprint race. So let's just see what Liam did as we are coming to the standings. And Liam didn't score any points in the race, as you can see for the weekend. It means SR is sprint race and R is race. So let's just see where he ended up. Going to the race itself, not even in the top 14, maybe a little bit lower in P15 or 16. No, it's actually double DNF for our team, so we really need to sort things out. I don't know if it was a mechanical issue or a crash, but I think it was a mechanical issue, as no other driver had a 2-stop or DNF'd or anything. So yeah, not the best weekend, but of course some points. As you can see, once again, the rivalry, we did it penalty free, but that doesn't mean anything, as Daniel Ricciardo only needs 5 points to win this rivalry. And the team acclaim, it's going down once again for me, almost at level 7 once again, and our team acclaim overall is going down a little bit. But the cash, we did manage to get our 2 sponsors, so that's really good for us, as we are now getting a little bit of cash to hold Liam in the team, of course, and to do some facility upgrades, which we haven't done in a while. So we will be doing that next episode, of course, as we are now coming here. You can see a aerodynamics upgrade has failed, and we have a contract renewal. We will be doing that next weekend, and we actually got some R&D points for our fault that we had this Grand Prix. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see some more videos, you can click on the videos right now, and I hope you have a lovely day.